Welcome back, everyone, to today's podcast. I think this is episode 8. I'm getting really bad at counting, so I'm not sure what to do at this point.
I'd say let's make this episode 100. We don't care about the rest of the numbers. Let's go triple digits.
Yeah, I think, okay, if you're going to say that, then this is episode 300. Thank you for subscribing to all my millions of subscribers. But, yeah, I also want to give a special shout out to Connor with the beats. He created that intro, and I think it's super great. If you listened last episode, I wanted a Childish Gambino vibe, and that
you
that
said it was
hit
like,
the spot.
You said it was like that Kawhi song. I'm not good with song names, but it was like that Kawhi song, right?
You know what? I went back and listened to some more Childish Gambino after like the intro, and the song that really resembles that is Pop Thieves.
Pop Thieves?
I don't think you've heard that one, huh?
Mm-mm.
That's really good. If you can't tell, I have another guest with me today. This is someone that I've actually just recently met, maybe about a year and a half ago. We met through school, and we ended up having class together, and now we become pretty close friends. Ben Garcia, thank you for coming.
Thank you. All right, today we're going to be practicing sniffing. If you guys fall asleep to someone sniffing, this is good for you. Sniff 1.
As you can already tell, Ben has a personality, and I think that's why I really like him a lot. And so, just to clarify, you're a drama major, right?
I'm a theater arts major and a communication major, so I'm basically in front of people 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day, wow. Aren't you also in business and debate?
Oh, no, I am a part of mock trial, so basically fake court. It sounds exactly what it is.
Right.
So I get put on the stand, get crossed, and pretend to be somebody else.
Okay, and you guys have tournaments through that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have lots of tournaments. Actually, last 2 tournaments I went to Irvine, faced off against some pretty good schools there. Went to Las Vegas, faced off against some pretty good schools there. And then we have one coming up here in Fresno, so I don't have to travel, which is both good and bad in my opinion, because like I don't have to go anywhere, but at the same time it's like, Fresno, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. How do you have time to fit all that? Because you do work, right?
I do work. Here's what I do. I plan at least a month ahead.
Wow.
So I go into detail. That's why I like the syllabi that teachers give out. Mm-hmm. They have a calendar and they plan it out. But with mock trial, it's like you get told what you're going to go to, and like you get those exact dates, so I have to write it out. And then with my schedule, I'm like, okay, here's my, I don't want to say 2-week notice because that means you're quitting, but like, here's my schedule for the next 2 weeks. And then I tell my work to work around my schedule.
Oh, I see. So your priority is more school, then obviously it's more school, right?
Oh yeah, I worked for fun. I do not need that money. But not to say that like it's not hard work. It's more of like I work so I have
like some extra cash in your hand just in case you want to buy anything.
Yeah, like if I don't know, say if my laptop broke, which is breaking right now, I'm going to use that money to both invest, and then I will probably use it later down the line to buy a new laptop.
Smart. You know what I really like about you, Ben?
What?
And why I think we clicked was because we both share the interest of like making movies, film writing, film screening, all that kind of stuff. So if you don't know, which I haven't promoted since like it came out, me and Ben and a couple other buddies, we actually shot was it in the summer? I thought it was in the summer, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was a patchwork job of a soon-to-be horror movie about a werewolf.
Yeah, and I remember you hit me up out of nowhere too. Like we didn't talk at all.
We didn't? I thought you always laughed at my jokes when we were in class.
No, remember because we didn't talk before you hit me up about the movie. I think you just saw my work, and you were like, I want to hit this guy up.
I ended up stalking you a little bit. I was like,
yeah,
that's some pretty good shots. And then I found that you had a YouTube account, and I was like, let me look at this. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna make my move.
Oh yeah, we actually ended up doing the MCJ 115 like collaboration, right?
Yeah. So I had to act in like one of your you shot camera, and then like there was
a director.
There was a director that wasn't really a director.
Yeah, it was like all mock.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I think like that was such like a really headache project I had to work on. I think that was probably one of the most annoying projects I had to work on. Yeah. And I say that because, like, you know me, I'm a one man show. So like if I don't bring a whole crew and shoot anything, you know.
Which is great because if you're in different areas, then you're probably the most valuable person on that team.
Yeah. And so like shooting something but getting told to shoot it this way kind of like irks me, but like it's a part of the deal. And then you know, giving all the footage away for someone else to edit, you know what I mean? It's like that's one of those like creative judgments that I can't have any control over because, you know, it's not.
Yeah, you're like shackled. It's like
exactly.
It's like clipping a bird's wings.
It's like honestly it was a team job, and the product came out decent, you know, because I'm not gonna say like it was bad or anything, but I mean obviously could have been better. I felt like if I had a lot more control, I could have tied it a lot more better. But I think obviously like in a classroom setting, everyone needs a turn.
The writing could have been better. I would say so.
The writing could have been way better, and you know what like really is annoying about that class is that like after hearing everyone do like that class, I just see the same damn scripts. It's the same exact ones.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, exactly the same, and it just kind of sucks. Cause like I think that class has potential because it's a advanced video field production class.
I wish like I would have known about that class and then suggested like, hey, can I write something for this class?
Yeah.
And like, it wouldn't be that preposterous what I proposed, I guess, because like I love writing, so I just like I'm automatically addicted to it, and so writing for that would have just been so much fun. Plus, I get to bounce ideas off of the teacher. But now that I think about it, he'd probably be like, you know what? No.
Like, what do you know? Right?
Yeah,
right?
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that would be so stupid. Because it's like, if you have someone that's just so such a micromanager to where they're like, do it this way. Here's a pre-constructed script for you that we've recycled throughout the years. Then that's no fun. Then like, where's the creativity in that?
Because you already have a preconceived idea of what this script should look like. You know what I mean?
That's a headache.
And that's really annoying. Because it's a shame too. Because you write really good scripts. I think my favorite script had to have been the one we were supposed to shoot. The project that never began or lived.
I've actually written more on that script.
Really?
I've written more on that script. I'm sad that we didn't get a little bit of that snippet. It's because like, I'm not gonna name any names, but like somebody bailed, and I can understand why. Actually, I can understand because
it happens,
you know. But that kind of like put pressure on me. I was like, I want to film this, but I don't want to be in it because like one is like I'm writing for myself here, and I already had a preconceived image of how that script was supposed to be acted out, and then they didn't show up, and I was like, oh no, and then I had to scramble to memorize it. But the actress Taya,
she was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
It's just sad because it's like that was just like a wasted opportunity in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And then like what really shut it down was in the shoot, like mid shoot, the lights just went out, and it's like there goes our continuity right out the door. And then it's like, oh, we wasted 2 hours just trying to get that.
Shooting really good footage too. It was really good footage. It was like, can you explain the idea of that script? It was called Missing in Traffic, right?
Yeah.
Can you give like a short summary of what that is supposed to be?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's about the main character comes from a very, very abusive household, and he grows up. He gets separated from his mother, and he gets adopted in this new family. But what's happening is that there's this, I want to say, itch in the back of his head where he's like, I have to find my sister. And he's been looking for his sister throughout the years. And he ends up going on this out of nowhere chase to go and find his sister where he thinks he can find her. But that's kind of like the side plot. I mean, it's on the surface. That's the story. But it really deals with a parent's shame for their child and how bad that can get.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to give away the ending.
Oh, yeah.
So the ending gave me have you seen the movie Chinatown? I'm sure you have.
I don't think so.
You need to watch that one. It's a really old movie, but it's one of those like Taxi Driver movies. Have you seen that one? Taxi Driver is like the like,
I think so.
Are you talking to me? I'm the only one around here, so you got to be talking to me.
Yes, I've seen that one.
It's in that kind of caliber. But in the Chinatown and the ending of that movie is like, you find out that the person that's like the I guess the antagonist, right? He has a daughter, but the daughter is also like his her grandpa, and so pretty much so it has something to do with like incest, right?
Oh.
Like the grandpa was like the dad, but the grandpa was also like the husband. It was really weird, and it was kind of one of those like nasty things. And so the detective is like, all right, we got to get out of here, like get out. Everything's kind of like climaxing, and then they drive away, and the detectives try to shoot the car that the girl's in, and they're trying to stop the car, like trying to shoot the tires, but they accidentally shoot and kill the daughter.
No.
Because she was trying to get away. Because the daughter had her daughter, and she didn't want the grandpa to like get anywhere near him because of like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so there's a really eerie feeling of like, dude, our main character is dead, and there's literally nothing you can do. Like the bad guy won, and so like the most famous line was, "Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown."
Oh.
Like you can't do anything, right?
No.
And so like the ending of your script was they end up finding the sister, but
she was no longer in her own body. She was a husk of a human being because of the level, because she got sold into sex trafficking.
Yeah.
So she was just a husk, and she was no longer there. And the main character has to do a mercy killing, if that's what it is, and kill his own sister. And then he goes back to his mom because he finds her too, and he's known where she was at for years, and he goes and asks her, he's like, why did you never come back for me? And the mom, and at that moment, I hope the audience is like, oh, the mom's gonna love him, and then she's like, you killed my daughter.
Oh.
It's like it wasn't sex traffickers, it wasn't the kidnapper. You killed my daughter. It was you,
because you ultimately decided that her fate. And when I think about the sister, like trapped in that room after sex trafficking, have you played Left 4 Dead?
I need to, eventually.
Have you seen? You know what the witch looks like?
Ooh, yeah.
I pictured like that, like malnourished and just can't do anything. But besides that point, I think you're really good at script writing. How did you learn how to write scripts? Because I'm taking the class right now, and like, do you use Final Draft?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you use just Doc?
Yeah, I was using Doc. How did I learn how to write scripts? I noticed, actually, like recently, that like I've had a creative imagination since I was 3. I used to put on plays for my parents with my toys, and then I got in a fight with my sister, right? And then like that stopped, and then I did sports, and then I went to high school, got back into theater arts, and then I was always trying to make the best essays for just like any class. It was like I wanted to sound smart, if that makes sense. So I mean, like actually know the words and not just like use big words. I needed to know the words. And then later down the line, I was like, acting is not exercising my mind anymore. It's not, I'm being creative, but like there's another level to this. I ended up having a nightmare about Abraham. And this is where the trailer came out of, that horror movie came out of. I had a nightmare about my friend Abraham, and he was in this bad place where like he had let down his dad because he wasn't living up to his potential.
Right.
And that's where the werewolf came in, because the werewolf represents death. And the main character in that film, or in that trailer, is not fighting a werewolf, because that's the manifestation of death, right? He's actually going against everything that's been haunting him. Basically, he's going up against his unlived potential. He's going up against death. He's going up against his dad's
expectations,
death, and the
feelings,
expectations,
right?
And it ultimately kills him, because at least that's my concept theory. Because it's like, at that moment, facing against all those things, he was at his greatest. And in my perceptions, if you keep chasing greatness, it's gonna inevitably kill you, because like you die in your life, right?
Right.
But if you see life as a constant pursuit of greatness, then you're probably most invested, and you're probably living life how you're supposed to be.
See, that's like super deep, because on the surface area, it's just a werewolf movie, right? Werewolf kills kills civilian dies. But like I like the way you interpret meaning through your writing. That's why I think your scripts are really, really good.
No, thank
Like I hope we can just do like a movie one of these days. I mean, obviously we're graduating, so we're gonna have more time, and I'm gonna get that new camera eventually. So maybe, you know what I mean.
I have another story. It's called Tales of the Water Lily. I think you'd like it.
Tales of the Waterhole.
Water Lily.
Water Lily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I have like an outline, but like basically, it could just be shot two different ways, right? I would love it if it was an animation, because I think it would be a great kid
I
story.
wonder how you do that. I have no idea.
I know there's Adobe Animation, but I haven't messed with it.
Dude.
I want to see what that is. But okay, so that one's pretty cool. That Tales of Water Lily is basically this empress leads a rebellion against her father, who's a tyrant, right? And she kills him, and her little brother is like comes in. He's like, "There's an army," and he sees the little his sister impaling her dad with a sword.
Right.
This would never make it in the children's book, but it'd be cool because like it's like the empress, or she becomes empress, and then the people end up hating her because she ends up turning into a tyrant because she just hates anything that represents her father. But at the same time, she's not learning from her father, so they like exile her, and she gets captured. Then she's like visited by someone that knows her, and is like, "Look you're in this cage on display for these kids that are walking by who are mocking you. All of your achievements, overthrowing your father, exiling your brother because you wanted this new age, was for nothing because now you're stuck in this cage." Mm-hmm. And so she ends up escaping, and the brother is becoming I want to say the tyrant that his father was. So she goes over there. She goes back to her empire and challenges him for the throne. And they have this battle, and she doesn't kill him because that's the lesson she learned. She's like, you gotta live with what was wrong with the past, so you can like learn from it. Instead of killing him, she like takes him under her wing, and then like he will advise her. He's like the voice of what she can do, but ultimately there's always a better decision, and that's what she represents.
I gotta ask you, man, what motivates you to write these kind of scripts? Because like, did you have like a traumatic experience? Did you just wake up thinking like I get it now?
I wake up. This is gonna be weird, all right?
Okay,
prepare yourself.
I'm all about weird.
I dream like
vividly, right?
Yeah.
I remember you
hyper
telling me
realistic, vividly. I can. It will be like maybe 30 minutes. I'll be dreaming, and it'll feel like 30 minutes, and then I wake up, and then there's like a story right there. So it's like I'm a fraud because I don't write this stuff. I dream it, and then I write it. And what helps out is like I put on music while I listen to it, and then like that coupled, or the dreams coupled with the music, ends up on paper. And then I'm like, oh my God, I can expand on the story this way. And then I can expand on the story this way. And it's like, maybe I'm a drug addict because like this is writing is a drug, you know?
It's an addiction, or it gives you like that euphoria, right? Does it?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, I just write. And there's like nothing stopping me, or nothing making me, nothing stopping me. I just do it. And then maybe 12 hours later, I'll have 30 pages worth of
Jesus Christ,
a story.
Bro, I can barely read a chapter book. I can't imagine writing a chapter book at that point.
Dude, I don't like reading either. But I have two favorite books here.
Bro, you have a bunch of books.
I have my favorite books are 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson and Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And you want to talk about like really good stories and like really good like things to live by? Those are two good books. Because like as much as I like writing, it's not like I don't have bad days, right? There's days where I'm like, man, I just don't want to write. I just, God. And then like school, and you get like excuses. It's like, oh, I got homework. And then I don't even do the homework. It's like, it's not like bad, like where I'm like, I take weeks off. No, it's more like, oh, I don't want to do it today.
Right. Like it's pretty normal to procrastinate like that. Because
yes.
it's really annoying because you go to school, you do all this learning, and then you come back, and it's like, oh, you got to do more learning at home. You know, like you don't really get a chance to just relax and then be your like mindlessly relax.
I wanted to talk about this actually.
Yeah.
I'm under the opinion, and one of our professors said that I was wrong, basically. I told her there was this time where we were in interpersonal communication, and I said, when I go home, I feel like I should be working. Like, I'm at my parents' house, and I'm like, God, I want to go back to Fresno because in my apartment so I could just
Be by yourself.
be
right?
by myself and mine, I guess, this gold in my mind. And she was like, all right, guys, don't forget to rest. And I was like, why does that feel wrong? And so now, like, when I take these days off, I think about that. It's like, oh yeah, okay, don't forget to rest. Don't forget to rest. I'm under the opinion that that might not be
The best.
because, like, if you and you were
Sure.
talking about, you look at the world and you cannot help but seeing frames for pictures, for like photos, right?
Yeah, that's my curse.
That's your curse or gift, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, let's be
I
positive.
see the glass half empty, brother.
Fair enough, right? Fair enough. But like, imagine if that was basically what you did for a living, right? And then you became better at it and better at it. Would you want to take a day off? Because that's just something that you do.
Right. It's not like it's not like it's not what I want to do. It's like not forced upon. It's just how I function. Is what you're saying.
That's your innate drive. Mm-hmm. And you're saying, okay, it's good to put the brakes on and put it in a park. It's like,
Why would I do that? You know, like shouldn't I continue to develop these techniques, like skills, right?
right. Because it's like my dad gave me some advice, and I'll be the first to admit I don't like advice when someone is not living my life. My dad said this. Let's go back to that. My dad's like, never stop sharpening your sword. Right?
Yeah.
Because then you're always ready for battle. In my mind, that meant like never stop learning or never stop chasing
doing, right?
your drives. Yeah. So if I wanted to sharpen my sword, and the sword was acting, screenwriting, directing, and everything, why would I stop?
You know what I think it is? I think that mentally you can keep going forever and ever, but I think you need a break. I think that's what they're trying to emphasize, is that yes, you're really good at this trait, but I think sometimes you just need to stop, relax, and just take a deep breath in, and then when you're, mentally and physically ready to keep going, you keep going.
Do you think that's right though? Because
I think that's right.
Because like when I basically sit down, 2 days later I'm still sitting down. It's like, oh God, how long did I take a break for?
You need to put your car back in drive, buddy.
Yeah, right? Because like, it's like, okay, maybe people can relate to this. You're working out, right? And it's a struggle, right? You take a day off. That day off turns into 2 days off.
Yeah.
3 days off. And then you're like, a month later, you're like, where's that? Where's that
where's the
workout
drive,
routine,
right?
man? Yeah. And so it's like, well, what if there was an idea here? What if there was no rest? If you had it your way, what if you had to do something, but like you get to pick what you have to do? So this is what I learned from one of these books. What if in life, right, you are cursed, if we're using your word, with the seeing keyframes everywhere?
Yeah.
Would you basically decide, okay, I'm not going to act upon this? Or would you decide to voluntarily say, I'm going to see where this goes, and I'm not going to stop until I reach the end? The end can be wherever
death.
you want. Or it could be death. I think I would choose that, because it's like, well, one, I'm contributing to the world. I'm living my life, whether you call it destiny or not, and you could just be yourself at that point. And you're not paranoid like about all this other outside nonsense, like girls or some jerk that cut you off on the road.
Girls.
yeah, man. But like okay, like say something just like really bugged you today. Someone said
Yes.
like,
Yes. something is bugging me today. But actually, let me put a stop on your thought real quick.
Yeah.
What if learning your trade, like, as you put it, sharpening your sword, also meant learning to include not sharpening your sword as a routine, and then learning to pick it back up is part of sharpening your sword? What I'm saying is, like, what if your routine is trying to teach you or tell you that you need to learn how to stop and pick it back up? You know what I mean? It's like, if I were to put in an example, like the working out, right? So let's say you're working out, you go, whatever your routine is, a couple days a week. Do you keep going a couple days a week, or do you say, you know what, I'm gonna let my body rest, and then focus on a couple other things, and then innately pick it back up? I feel like that's a really good behavior to have and a trait, because you're not only taking care of your craft, you're also taking care of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so if we're doing the working out analogy,
Sure.
would you do like active recovery if you're gonna take a break?
Oh, you're saying active recovery as in, like, you're not working out
As hard.
You're not going 10 tenths all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. You're like saying, you know what, today we're gonna go a little light. Today we're gonna go cardio. Mm-hmm. Today we're gonna do this and this and this.
Yeah.
I would actively work on it. Yeah.
So then you like never put down the sword.
You never put down the sword, but you never sharpen it all the time.
Like as intensively as we work.
Yes.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that 100%. It's just, I think it was, because like obviously I'm an oddball. I've always considered myself.
I can attest.
As in like the other, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, it's Ben. It's Ben.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, he's a frat boy, or he's a theater arts major, he's a communication major. It's like, no, it's just Ben, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think my drive is more intense than others. So I don't think I would take that active recovery days as many times as I want.
I see.
Or as they would want to. And I completely agree with that. What you were saying, I think I got off topic here. But like, I agree with what you said. 100%.
Right.
I don't know how applicable it is towards me though.
That's the thing, that I think it's more contextual, because, like, for someone like you, I think you want to keep going, and technically, like, keep going is kind of like your rest, isn't it?
Yeah, oh man, I'll be on the bus because I take the shuttle to Fresno State.
Oh yeah, because it picks you up right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I don't listen to like a book, or if I'm not reading
on the way to school,
sure. I'm thinking about that script. I'm thinking about that script. So I've just like, okay, I'm gonna write notes about ideas about the script, no matter where I'm at. And then in class, I put a stop to it, because it's like, okay, this takes priority because this is my grade.
Yes, I think that's healthy for you, because you are doing something that you like. Like, if I put it in my perspective, spend a bunch of money on your car, like build your car, but how can I take a rest on that, but also not bury myself in debt? Think about this stuff, plan it out. For me, like, your rest days are me planning out what I want to do to the car.
That's a good
and
way
dreaming,
to put it.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's healthy for you, that if you're stopping, like, when I'm in class, I don't just surf the web and look for like parts. I just, like, I'm literally attentive in class, and if I'm hanging out with friends, my girlfriend, doing anything that doesn't require building that car, I'm there, like, present in the room. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that's your break.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're arguing, that, like, don't stop what you are thinking in your head. Like, don't take a rest and just go blank. Mm-hmm. Right? Don't quit.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are like, oh man, this weekend I get a rest, I get a party, and I'm not a big partier. It's just like, when I go to parties, I'm like, I should be doing something more important right now. Mm-hmm. That's what parties are.
But that's like me. Priority to you, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like someone else could just be
basically
like,
particular to me.
Yeah, particular to you. Yeah, understandable.
So yeah, that's what I was wanting to know, because like I'm trying to bounce off these ideas, because like I like to think there's we were talking earlier about that one person. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They had this. There's like, they were saying like, I can't go out into the world without being like scared that something's gonna happen, and it's like, okay, but you still have to go out into the world, right? Mm-hmm. So what if, instead of like seeing that's the world, and this is going back, I'm gonna tie this in. What if the world wasn't the problem? What if it was just you the problem? I think that there's a problem with me. Not a problem, but like obviously something, this is
Like the
something
way you're
specific.
wired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is just the way I'm wired. And when I go out to the world and when I say that in class, and then like, that professor was like, no, you gotta take a rest. I was like, no, it's like, no. And now I'm realizing, now that you're saying this, it's like, okay, this is just me. This is just me. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being alone in that, because that kind of motivates me. Because like, okay, now I have no competition. Now the competition is just me.
Right, right. But you know what it also could be? Is that maybe the content of what you were learning. So I was in class, right?
Yeah.
It's not so that's not like what you like to do. Obviously you don't sit there and like, oh, I can't wait to go to class. Like, I can't wait, right?
Yeah,
I think what she's trying to say is that I think that your professor's saying like, I know this isn't your priority. Like, this is just school. Like, take a break from school, focus on something else.
Could have been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of saying like, hey, stop thinking, turn your engine off, and then just walk around.
Could you imagine how awful that would be?
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
You turn your engine off and walk around. I mean, like, in the context of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's basically saying, like, yeah, don't think and just be. And it's like, no. It's like, because, like, now you gotta, it's like, you don't know what's happening tomorrow. Are you saying, like, you're not going to think about your past?
Right.
Then you're just going to go, for me, I would think what would happen is, like, you would go after anything that's, like, shiny around you. Basically an immediate pleasure. And that could potentially lead to some self-destructive behavior. And then you're just like going after every immediate pleasure and then destroying yourself in the process, because now you're not chasing your dream, and now that dream is slipping away.
Yeah.
That's basically the moral of the story of this whole topic here.
Yeah.
As soon as you stop chasing your dream, it slips away.
Let me ask you, Ben, because I know that your major is communication, right? So I feel like you have more of a touch with like script writing and being on the creative art side. Why do you choose communication?
Because sometimes I can't talk. No.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like, I think obviously you're really good at communication. You know all the theories, pretty much anything about communication. Like, how like the sender, the noise, the receiver, basic stuff like that. But is there a certain reason you chose communication? Or is it one of those things where you chose it and then you're like, oh shit, I like script writing now?
No, I love communication because, so in high school, I was an asshole. 2, I was an introvert.
Sure.
And then 3 is like, I didn't know how to talk to girls, if that makes sense.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I knew how to talk to girls. I just didn't know how to talk to girls that I'd like. And that's basically why I went into communication. And now I'm great at it. But but no, okay, so communication is really cool because what you get to do is like, you get to listen basically how you could improve and get to learn about people, because people are amazing if you just listen to them. Because like what we learn in communication is if you pay attention to someone, they just open up like a flower.
All right, Ben, what theory is that?
Social penetration, maybe?
Yes, sir. The onion theory.
Okay, I like social penetration, but I like dialectical tensions more. And here's why. Because
Okay.
basically that tensions part in there, there's never a stasis, basically.
Right.
I mean, you could potentially say like, you guys drift apart and you guys pick up right where you left off. That's the only problem I have with dialectical tensions. But at the same time, it proves with dialectical tensions, because it's like, okay, you can break apart, but like that, getting back to the level of communications of where you were that person, is just that much easier. And there's not that much tension because like you have that rapport already. That's why I like dialectical tensions. And besides, onions make you cry, and I don't cry unless I have to on stage.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm really interested in that girl story though, because we were talking earlier, and it kind of just blows my mind that.
You want me to say it again?
Yeah, okay, so from context, from what I remember, there's a girl that you were seeing off and on.
I'm gonna say no. We're gonna say like we were just talking.
It's like you were fishing. You guys were both fishing at the same time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And she was trying to catch me. I was the fish. I'm the fish in this
You're the fish in the situation? All right.
Yeah. So, okay. I guess we'll just pick up to where, like, this
Yeah, you can just
happened.
go, like, really briefly, you know, honestly.
Okay, so I'll just pick up where we go. And I asked this girl out, right? And then she's like, I'll get back to you when you get back from Irvine next week on Monday. And I'll let you know then. And I was like, that's a no. That's a no. But I'm not going to say anything until Friday comes, right? Because I talked to her that Wednesday. And it was just bugging the fuck out of me, right?
Right.
And so I call her up, and then we have this argument because she's like, I thought you were gonna wait till Monday, and I was like, no, this is bugging me. I can change my mind. And then I was like, what's the answer? Because I'm just gonna say no. I'm gonna walk away. This is where I took a little bit of self-respect. I was like, I'm gonna walk away
For yourself, right? Yeah.
right, which is for me one of the things, because like I guess we were talking earlier. Oh fuck it, forget about that. We'll talk about that later. And so I was like, and she's like, all right, well, I'm going to choose the other guy because there was another guy. And a week goes by and I'm moving on. I decided to busy myself and to make sure that I was on top of my game the next week. She texts me, and basically to sum up that conversation is that she changed her mind and that it wasn't working out. And she wanted to know if she still had a chance.
That's just so wrong.
Yeah. And I was like...
It's like picking candy in a candy shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And I was like, God... I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm being too hard, okay? Okay, so... I was like... I guess there's still a chance, but oh my God... Let me tell you guys something. I've never been so hesitant in my life. I chucked it up to me just being like scared because like this is new to me and I'm in a new situation. But like, fuck. Damn it, dude, man. I was like, all right, let's do this. Okay, so we go on this hangout. It's not a date. I wanted it to be a date. I was going to take her to a really nice place and then have some fun afterwards. I was like, all right, fine. We're going to see what happens. I'm just going to stop worrying. She ends up sending me a text and she's like, hey, I'm not feeling that great. Do you want to go to a park for a little bit first? And take into account, I had not eaten all day. I was busy. I was still in that mind of like, I'm going to preoccupy myself so I don't think about things like this.
Okay.
So I had not eaten that day. We go to this park. We ended up staying 3 hours there. And in that time, I learned a lot about this woman. She was on her phone the whole time. Most of the time, actually. Then she started to let me know on what her presumptions were about me. She thought I was affiliated or subscribed to a certain political party, which
Republican.
Yeah. And like, you know, I was like, okay. And I guess that doesn't sound bad.
Sure.
Innately,
like,
right?
Yeah.
Because that's just a political party. But she's one of those people like that was a bad attribute to affiliate with someone, I guess. So she was like, if you weren't liberal, then you were an enemy. To sum it up.
Oh, okay.
And okay, so this is what happens. I was like, okay, that's a red flag. Then she started talking about like, oh yeah, I just don't like their arguments because like she gave a laundry list of reasons,
Just like
and
dumb
like,
political stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, good God. I was like, imagine being that
worried, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then so like that was another red flag. Then she said like, oh yeah, you work for fun and I work to work. And I was like, oof, what does that mean? She's like, well, it looks like you have a nice car. That means you have a lot of money. So that probably means that you don't need to work as hard and that you basically are living off your parents' money. It's basically what it was without her saying it. You know, like when you can read the subtext.
Yeah.
Another red flag. Also, taking like 7 steps back to that phone call that we got in an argument about.
Mm-hmm.
I told her something in confidence, and she tried to use it against me in that argument. I told her, and she flipped on me, and I was like, "Whoa, where does this come from? I told you that in confidence. You're not supposed to do that. That's not how you play the game."
Yeah.
So another red flag.
How many red flags is it till you like, no thanks?
Apparently, it's a lot. I should have stopped at 3.
Oh no, there's more.
Yeah, because okay. I was thoroughly interested in learning about her, but God, she never asked me about me. Instead,
she was very self-induced, huh? Like just worried about her own feelings, and just like, if you're not like me, then I don't want to be with you. Right?
Yeah. She was like constantly, like after every topic, she's like, "Yeah, I'm not good for you. I'm not good for you."
What?
I was like, maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. But you made a mistake. You chose the other guy, then came back. Now you let the narcissist that lives within inside me know that he's a catch. And now he's never gonna let this go. Right?
That's pretty funny.
So I leave after that quote unquote date, because I was like, I'm starving and it looks like we're not gonna go get something to eat together. So I take off.
Wait, did you pick her up?
No, thank God that she drove.
Because I was gonna say, like, oh man, could you imagine having to take her home after that? That car road would be so quiet.
No, see, I'm actually, if you guys can't tell, I'm a sparkling conversation.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have let that happen.
I would not have let that happen. I hate awkward silences, because it's like, you want to say, like, it's like, just ask the other person. Yeah, just ask the person. Just make a joke. Like when we're talking about how many episodes you have, like, I have 5 words for you. I can't count. That's 3 words. That's a funny joke. Okay. Anyways,
that's a good joke. I think that's a really good joke.
Okay. So basically, I was like, okay, that was her second chance, and she blew it. Or maybe was it because I'm hesitating? Maybe because like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll offer her a second date.
Wait. You offered her another one? What is wrong with you, bro? Like, are you serious?
Yes, I don't know.
You just like watching bad movies, huh?
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Oh, wait, so are you guys gonna go back out again?
I don't think so. I've already made the decision that I'm like, this person with all of the character flaws and like, I guess her presumptions of how the relationship would be, it wouldn't work. It would actually drag me down. I think, I don't know. Maybe things can change because people can change.
Yeah, but I don't think you should go into a relationship hoping to change someone. I think that's like a lot of issue people have, is that I want to fix this person to be like me.
I think that's what irked me the most, because like, it's not just with her. It's like she was like basically setting boundaries of how I could live my life, and I just hate that. That's why I like hate getting advice from people that don't. Because they're like, I think at the base of it, I see it.
Oh, your glasses just fell off.
But sorry, that's how mad I am. That's how like irritated I am right now.
Your glasses, like, as soon as I heard, yeah, I'm gonna give her another chance, they just flew straight off your face.
But okay, so basically, when people try to give me advice, or like they try to change how I should be or should view the world, it's like, okay, so you think you know better than me, and 2, you think that you are better than me, and that I should follow your example. It's like, look where you're at, boy. We're in the same room. We're going to the same school, or you're going to
wherever,
city,
right? Oh.
Right? And you're saying like, this is how you should be. It's like, no. First of all, I thought we're supposed to be accepting of diversity. Second of all, and third of all, you're not living my life, and I'm doing just fine without you. I'm writing my own stories.
Yeah, you're not dependent on her and her opinions.
Oh my God, yeah.
Ben, I swear, if you go out with her again, I would never ever talk to you until you drop that fool.
She still Snapchats me.
Ugh.
You know how you said that like in my interview before this, or like
yeah.
How you said that I was a caring person,
right?
I think that level of, wow, this is gonna sound narcissistic too. That level of selflessness is self-destructive.
Oh yeah, because you feel like you let people walk all over you, right?
Basically,
Mr.
what I'm
Tony
saying.
Stark.
My God! All right, you know what? I don't know. What do you think I should do? Should I block her?
Bro, you should just... It's 4 letters, bro. It's STOP. Stop. Honestly, just... I wouldn't burn bridges, because I think burning bridges is kind of hard. I think just cut her off, as in, like, yeah, snap her once in a while, but, like, don't tell her straight up, like, yeah, you're not good for me.
Can you imagine?
Because I know you would do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, speaking of cutting her off, I told her that I had cut someone off in the past just because, like, they were just being annoying. Like, not annoying. They were infuriating me because they were just being unhelpful. They were being really unhelpful in a situation where I kind of wanted help. And there are little things that were building up to that. But, like, she tried to use that against me in an argument. She's like, yeah, you're going to do some asshole move, like, cut me off. And I was like, well, you don't even know the context of that situation. And now you're trying to use it against me. Let me tell you something. That's not what you do to people. Here's a little thing about communication. When somebody tells you something in confidence, do not turn around and use it against them.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
That's like a level of betrayal in my opinion.
That's disrespect.
And I still went out with her. Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
The past 50 minutes, nothing. Nothing is validity or valid at this point.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Going on that day, I really just fell on my face, didn't I? I ran into a wall.
Like, I think it's a funny experience.
Do you know what's a funny experience? I want to tell you a story. This is a gross story.
Okay.
So I play a germaphobe in mock trial. I play a germaphobe witness, right? And I have like so many allergies, and what I had to do was rub my nose a lot, right? Uh-huh. During one of the rounds, I'm sitting in court and I make eye contact with my attorney, and she almost breaks out into laughter in the middle of court. And you're just supposed to be stoic in court.
Yeah, because it's like it's the mock.
Very formal, right?
Yeah.
So she almost breaks out in laughter, and she turns red, and I'm like, what happened? What did I do? I'm just sitting still, and I'm like, maintain character. So I go back up to my nose, I rub it, and there's this gooey little substance right there, and I'm like, oh my god. And I make eye contact with the jury because I know what's there. It's a booger. And I make eye contact with the jury, and they almost like break out into laughter too. And I'm like, oh my god. But being the actor I am, like, I have to stay in character. So like I start gagging a little bit because I grab it. I'm like, because I'm supposed to be playing a germaphone, and so like I had nowhere to put the booger, and I had latex gloves on, so I was like, I flicked it away.
Oh my god.
I flicked it away, and I had to maintain like my character, so I was like, I'm sorry, I had a booger, sorry for the ruckus.
Wait, so what did the judge say about that?
The judge didn't notice, but the jury, because they're like a second judge, right? She put her paper in front of her face, and you could see her shoulders bouncing up and down. And I was like,
this is great. That's great comedy.
Dude, the situations I get put into. There's this...
sticky, bro, like your boogers. So I guess like we're kind of going to wrap it up now because we're getting pretty close to the time. But I just want to ask you, man, like, after, I guess, this felt like a really good, like, venting session, you know what I mean? Like, It's really easy to put stuff into words. Or it's actually not easy. It's really hard to put stuff into words. So after having a conversation with me, not like I'm saying like I'm your therapist or anything, but has anything changed, like, your way of thinking or maybe motivations?
Probably that. Oh, yeah, I feel like more motivated to write. I mean, I got homework right now, but, like, I'm going to do it after that. Definitely. Like, there's, like, a decision to do that because I was just going to focus on homework day. With that girl,
don't do it.
Be, like, a little bit more distant.
Be more stern, you know what I mean? Like, self-worth. I think that's a good...
I got a question.
What's up?
Okay. For me, I guess it's hard to see when someone's just, like, using me or taking advantage of me, I guess, in that in that situation. I felt like, now looking back at it, like, that person was treating me like an option rather than a human being.
Right.
I can't, for whatever reason, I can't catch that.
You know, that's actually, I think, a really common thing for just people in general because, what is it called? It's like some type of, like, saying. Like, you're like blinded by, not like love, but love or lust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're kind of blinded and you can't really tell. I think that's really hard to like
Yeah, because
step back.
I was pretty hesitant, and then it came up with excuses, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we'll do
I think
this.
it's always best to ask like a third party because I think whatever you gain and you like all the information that you've noticed, like maybe like I think you've done that before. Like you texted me like, hey, is it normal to feel this way? Like, why is a girl doing this to me? Like, is that just part of it? And you know what I mean?
In this situation is a perfect example. The girl's not the problem. I'm the problem.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways, but I mean, like, you have control over yourself,
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. I got a question. Would you ever go ghost hunting with me? And okay, I know this is
Ghost hunting, hell yeah. Shoot, I don't know. Like, I say yes, but I'm really like scared. I'm a pretty scared person.
Again, you would just stay in the van, all right? I would go in there. I don't believe in ghosts, but if someone was to discover ghosts, I want that to be me. I want to be like, yeah, I proved that. What is it? Paranormal science is real and should be taken realistic. Now, again, I don't believe in ghosts, but if I caught one on camera, I'd be like, look, guys, I should get a Nobel Prize for this.
I'm sure you're not the first one to do that, but you know what the thing is, though? It's like, if I were to go, I'd have to have someone else in the van with me.
Well, we'll bring your girlfriend.
But, like, come on now. Come on.
What do you mean? What do you...
I think I need a third person then, because, like, could you imagine if we're both scared? We need someone to just be like, dude, guys, ghosts don't exist.
We'll just hire a bouncer.
That's funny.
Like, just stand on the side of the van.
Outside, ghosts are trying to come in. Hey, yo. Chill.
Whoa. Let me get your ID card here. If you're 110 years old, you're too old for this party.
Like, hey, just relax. We're filming something. I could imagine that.
Okay. But yeah, going back to like how have my thoughts have changed?
Because you say you're very narcissistic, right? I'm not sure if that's a good thing to like be very promoting, but I mean, it's also I don't think narcissistic is the right word.
That.
Yeah.
I think
you're more confident.
You think so?
I think it's confidence, not narcissistic. Narcissistic is more like I only care about me, which maybe you probably think, right? But I think you're more confident, like that you know who you are, know what you want, and that you know that yourself, that you know what's best for yourself.
Yeah, I guess not the way I act is narcissistic. I think it's more like if I mess up here, I don't really care what happens. I don't really care the reaction. Yeah. Especially with this podcast. Man, I was nervous with this podcast too. I was like, really? What are we going to talk about? I have no idea.
Honestly, me too, but I think because me and you are both like really extroverted, it's easy to just have a conversation.
You think I'm extroverted?
I think you're extroverted.
All right.
Introvert, I don't see you as introverted at all. Like extroverted, like we were in class, you would just sing.
I would sing?
You would just hum. I forget. It was like the Life of Po Pie, that song.
Oh yeah.
And you just hum it in class, and it's just like, Ben, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, literally in the middle of lecture, someone's giving a presentation, and you're just like, I was like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
By the way, I do that when I see like somebody fail or I fail. Like, when the glasses came off, that was a perfect time to be like,
see, it's just really funny, dude.
I also do like that Iron Man thing. Where like,
oh yeah, you just go.
Yeah, when I don't like something, like get it out of my face, I just go.
And it's just funny because like when you do it right now, it seems totally like fun and normal, but you're in class and there's a bunch of people you don't know. You just go like out loud. You just be like, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, chill, bro.
Dude, I remember somebody looked at me and was like, "Was that Iron Man?" I was like, I am Iron Man.
I remember how you started out your presentation. I remember was it the self portrait, whatever it was called? So you went up, I am Iron Man. Yeah, I was just like, what?
Yeah, dude, they're taken aback. They're like, oh my god, this kid's insane. And I was like, I'm just better than all of you. I'm more confident. See, there's a narcissism. I'm just better than all of you.
Okay, maybe you are narcissistic.
See,
but not to the extent where it's like harming anyone.
No, it's more of like, just like, oh, roll my eyes.
Yeah.
It's Ben.
It's Ben.
Yeah. See, I'm the odd character here.
That's really funny. But yeah, Ben, I think that was a really fun podcast. I think it's really cool to have you on.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to come on again. But yeah, this was really fun.
I don't like narcissistic people.
Oh, you don't deserve me anyways. you can't afford me.
All right, Ben, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you guys on the next podcast. Peace.